people think we're kind of an overnight success, but next month will be our sixth year anniversary. But we've been very deliberate and frugal in terms of how we raise capital. Originally, it was my co-founder and I bootstrapped the company pretty much for the first 2 years, and then over the next 3.5 years, we only raised about $6 million. So a company like Tru Optik, we accomplished a lot with relatively a very small amount of money, and to be able to have had the success that we've had, and then now have a much larger cash infusion is really substantial for us. We've doubled the size of the company just in the last quarter, and our revenue is pretty much skyrocketing, and we think this is really an inflection point for us, where it was critical to have the resources to staff up and kind of take advantage of the positioning that we have. So
part of it is a strategic partnership with TransUnion. Tell us where you hope that goes.
Yeah, so it's really exciting. So one of the things that we've always talked about in the market is scale of data, quality of data, and we've done a lot to kind of push the boundaries of privacy compliance and making sure that we were a leader in that, and offering more ways for consumers to opt out, being really tight-knit on data security, and those are things that TransUnion seem to care more about than probably anybody that we've talked to in the industry. I would say, I don't know if they'll get upset with me for saying this, but a lot of the diligence process was around privacy policies and data security. And so I think that synergy works well when you're talking about the ability to leverage more and more data across the fastest growing medium. So I would say, if I could take two things that I would take away from why the partnership is significant, is just large census level, deterministic, scalable data. So really high quality data coming into the over-the-top ecosystem, and then more ways to make both advertisers and consumers feel comfortable that data is being leveraged in a privacy compliant way.
So what are your thoughts about sort of the road ahead for OTT? It's a lot's going on, a lot of direct-to-consumer brands, services that are going to launch with Warner and Disney and so on, a lot of focus. Advertisers are very interested. Where does the media go, this OTT connected advertiser supported world go?
So, one of the things, I think one of the first panels I ever did around a Beat event was a few years ago. It was in Vegas at NAB. The question was asked, where do we see over-the-top or connected TV being in 5 years or 4 or 5 years? And everybody said, oh, it's going to grow, it's going to be big. And I said, I think by Christmas 2020, the majority of television consumption in the US is over-the-top. And everybody else on the panel, including some of the major broadcast networks that were there, laughed. Well, I don't think people are laughing now. All of the growth in terms of television viewership, for the most part, has been across ad-supported, over-the-top, whether it's free solutions like the Pluto TVs and the Zumos and the Newsies, or it's subscription-based solutions that have ads like the CBS All Access and et cetera. And so where I see over-the-top or connected TV going is, in the next couple of years, we're not even going to call it that anymore. It's just going to be called TV, because it will be the main opportunity to reach consumers across the biggest screen in the household. And so because of that shift of where the audience is, and then the ad dollars are going, there's going to be more and more of an emphasis for high quality content, for measurement, for attribution, privacy compliance. And so I think even though there's been a ton of growth over the last 2 years, I think we're really just getting started. Connected TV is really going to be unprecedented in terms of a shift in terms of the way media and dollars are going.
And Andre, you have quite a crew now. You're with Boker and Richard Kaczynski. You have some great people coming on board. How's that sort of changing the opportunity for your company?
Yeah, so we've always been blessed with some really talented, experienced people. Our investors and our board members have almost $10 billion of exits in the ad tech and media and entertainment space. So from day one, we've been surrounded by some pretty heavy hitters and some really experienced people. The first kind of big senior level exec that we brought on was David Weisenfeld 4 years ago, when he came over from Nielsen to kind of lead our measurement and research. And so really what we're doing now is just being able to do that even more increasingly, and fill gaps that we had in terms of sales leadership or like I said, privacy is so important for us. So having Jonathan Boker come on and be our first ever chief privacy officer is huge. But we've never lacked for talent at Tru Optik. I think that's one of the reasons why we've been able to accomplish so much with being a small company.
Cool. And finally, what do you hope comes out of tonight? What are your expectations around this event that you've pulled together?
So this is actually our 5th year doing this event. We try to keep it more tight-knit, and it's invitation only, and we approve all the guests coming. We try to make sure that it's diverse in terms of from the agencies to the brands to the ad tech platforms to the media companies, all senior level executives. And I think normally what we find is people announcing new things, people finding synergies and opportunities to work with each other, and I think that will be the case. One of the things we're also going to do today is kind of highlight all the stuff that Tru Optik has accomplished. There's been a ton of announcements from major companies, whether ad tech platforms or media companies over the last 6 months or so, and all of them have kind of tried to portray those announcements as if they were groundbreaking or industry first. And the funny thing about it that we laugh about internally is everything that anybody's announced in the last 6 months, Tru Optik announced in 2018 or 2017 or even 2016. And so one of the things we're going to open up the show with today is just showing a timeline of all the major deals and the capabilities that we've led the way with across connected TV, and just highlight the fact that I still think we're probably 18 months ahead of the rest of the industry. So that's really the main focus of what we're going to get out here, and in general it's just an amazingly exciting time. In the last month we've announced not just the TransUnion partnership and the investment round led by Mithera and the hires of Jonathan Boker and Richard Kaczynski that you referenced, but we also just announced a huge deal with Oracle. The entire Oracle data cloud is synced and mapped to our household graph over connected TV, and that's the deal we started working on in summer of 2017. So this is our big event. It's right before NAB next week, a couple months before Cannes, right before InFronts really, kind of get into full swing. So we're just excited to have Beat and everybody else here in attendance tonight.